mentally, and he's finally got an opportunity this season. Scored 6 goals last week against Johns Hopkins.
At the face-off X, Petey Lasalla, who is now in that all-time great conversation. He'll take the opening draw for Virginia. Matt Constantinides for Towson, the sophomore, at 52%. Towson wins the opening face-off, pushing early offense, and the Tigers on the board first. It's the freshman Joaquin Villagomez. We saw Hopkins do this, Quint. You get an opportunity in transition, you have to take the good shot.
Lasalla just loses this cleanly. I tell you, Matt Constantinides, the sophomore from Connecticut, is really talented. Okay, he stood toe-to-toe with Zach Cole of St. John's. I thought in that game he won the majority of the clamps. He just lost a lot of the exits and the grounders. But Villagomez, man, good-looking freshman from Severna Park, 12th goal this season. He's learning. He can rip it right-handed. And you see Virginia now with a slow start.
A face-off violation on Lasalla. That's 1. If you get 3.5, it triggers a man-up opportunity.
This different week.
A face-off violation this time on Towson, so both teams have 1 apiece. And now Quint with Petey Lasalla. He may stay on here. 33 career goals. And this drives opponents crazy with his ability, not just to be a guy on offense and a decoy, but somebody who can score. And Lasalla finding McIntosh, who lost the ball. That was a good feed. Morin trying to clear, balls on.
Or so over the course of 60 minutes.
Petey Lasalla wins the face-off. He also has a nice mustache in homage to John Stark, the former Towson Sports Information Director, who's now at Syracuse. McIntosh from the wing.
Toronto native, the lefty, coming off a Vermont team that was highly successful in the last 3 or 4 years.
Lasalla wins it clean. Over to Chismar, 1 more. Schellenberger, shot blocked.
Offensive coordinator Sean Kerwin doing spectacular work.
Lars Tiffany telling us the interior passing, that was Sean Kerwin's game as a player. They teach it, they practice it, and that's why they're the best at it.
And that's a valid point. You know, Kerwin was a goal scorer for Tufts, and I look nationally, who are the best?
And some of them had played with Schellenberger for Team USA tryouts. Similar refrain. He's so easy to play with. The game comes naturally. Very little is forced. And you can see that permeates throughout this entire offense. Schellenberger only has 1 goal in the last 3 games. And Lars Tiffany joked with us, hey, some guys would come to him and say, Coach, I got to get mine. He said, for Schellenberger, it's not even an issue. The team's winning. He is more than content with making the hockey assist. They don't chart that in lacrosse. If you did, I guarantee you Schellenberger would be amongst the national leaders.
Egoless, just wants
3 national championships. 4 of the last 5 in the sport have been won by Virginia or Maryland. And those 2 face off next weekend in Charlottesville. There's Towson off the opening face-off, low shot, and a score. Matt Constantinides, first goal of the season, had a goal last year when he was second-team all-conference, and that's how Towson started the game, scoring off the opening face-off.
This one took 10 seconds. I liked what I saw from Constantinides against St. Joe's Zach Cole in terms of his top-hand quickness, his whistle ready. Didn't see this, though, snaking through the Cavalier D. They're spread out. Saladay with the trail check. Matsui comes in and blows him up, but it's too late. And once again, Towson scores off a face-off.
Face-offs even at 4-piece. Lasalla shovels it to Noah Chismar. Good-looking sophomore out of Baltimore.
Virginia's off to the races.
This Virginia team had scored 62 first-half goals in its first.
For expulsion, okay, those are non-negotiables.
Big face-off here for Towson. And they're able to pick it up. It's Sam Morin. Still got about 30 seconds on this man up. A chance to get even. Virginia has scored.
We've seen him pass. We've seen him carry and dodge. He can play defense. I think he's a pro prospect, Anish, because of that versatility.
And Lasalla back at the face-off X. Both have won 6. Petey wins this one, dumps it back on the ground, and here's Grayson Saladay. Fifth-year captain over to
piece of that rolls in. Dixon's having a all-American caliber year.
He came into the game leading Virginia in goals and points. Petey Lasalla fires. It was ruled a goal, and there's no replay at this point. Warren off the face-off wings will play it back. That's dangerous. Picked off by Sunderland. Over to Menke. One more shot, score. That's Connor Schellenberger. Just his second goal in 4 games. You get sloppy against Virginia, they will make you pay. Towson had it. Errant pass on the clear. Easy transition opportunity for the Hoos.
These are the juice plays for this Virginia team. They really get a thrill out of winning 50-50s in the middle of the field, creating turnovers, and then running. And you see the reaction on their bench is just jubilance. Guys are jumping up and down. 4-goal lead. I might actually get in the game today, they're saying in their head, but let's celebrate that goal because it's an effort goal. And that's what Lars has been preaching. And when we talked to him on Friday morning, he's had fun coaching this team because they're good, but he loves the effort, the offensive ground balls, the cause turnovers.
5 seconds to go, opening half. It's not a Virginia runaway as some of these games have been. And this one popped out. Petey Lasalla, the trail check on Constantinides. 30 minutes in the books at Klockner, #1 Virginia.
And I'm seeing some bright spots here, though. This is a team that had Loyola on the ropes that could have beaten the Greyhounds.
Petey Lasalla got trail checked.
I think if you junked it up defensively, the pacing of this game is more to their liking than Virginia's.
And Virginia has not really been able to get much in transition. They had a late goal at the end of the half off a failed Towson clear. Now here comes it. It's 10-8 Virginia. 11th goal of the season for McCombie, who had 60 last year. Morin overran the ball. Saladay picks it. Lasalla wins the draw. Thunder's ahead. Little rocker step. He goes down. Bars with a nice hit. McIntosh shovels it back. Barr's able to pick it up. First team all-Colonial last is already on the all-time trajectory at an all-time program. When he's done, he'll be up there with the greats that have come through UVA.
Memorial Day. Teams with good second midfields play on Memorial Day.
Garneau, Ricky Miezon is battling a shoulder injury. We only saw him come on once so far today. He's a guy that they'll try to pull out, especially midway through the, still working his way back into football shape. Not quite a finished product yet, but the upside is so incredible. They want to live with some mistakes, and Virginia's had these big leads in so many of these games. They've been able to
gain not only with points, but ground ball plays and hustle plays. And then Xander Dixon, the Slim Reaper, has been effective.
And for the second half of that third quarter, we saw Virginia force tempo. Off the face-off, Towson had scored off the face-off of the first. Some impressive non-conference wins. It hasn't been the case this year. The Ivy League tournament this year, you know, there's a lot at stake in New York. Villagomez gets one back for Towson. That's been Towson's best offense at times. Win the face-off, go early, and it's 15-9.
I was taking notes for my poll that I write every Monday for Lax All-Stars, Anish, and coming off the Hopkins game for Virginia, I was like, they're giving up all sorts of fast breaks. If you watch that Hopkins-Virginia game, Johns Hopkins had 5 or 6 odd man rushes. This is just strong wing play. And look at the speed, and next thing you know, Towson's off to the races. I'll tell you, Villa Gomez, star in the making.
Yep.
Really, really good freshman player. I mean, he can rip the ball. I've been impressed with him carrying it today. He's not a threat to Dodge yet, but when he fills out, he will be. Man, between him and Weishar, you got 2 really strong freshmen for Towson.
McConvey.
The same velocity from half the distance.
Yeah, that's not fun if you're a goalie. That's why you gotta have a different demeanor to play that position, as I've learned from you.
Well, they're not aiming for you. That's one thing that you have in the back of your mind. And the better the level of... He was a highly sought-after recruit. He verbaled early to Towson, stayed the course. There were poachers galore. Poachers galore trying to get him to switch out of his Towson commit.
Constantinides.
Taking big steps, Anish. This is a team that's gotten better. We're seeing a better product today.
A 4 for DeMeo, whose brother Anthony was a big part of that Maryland championship run a season ago. The Terps going undefeated.
Lars Tiffany telling us, you see, he's an option. Griffin Schutz can attack the goal from all angles.
Lasalla kicks it back. Here's Soliday. One of the Towson players lost his stick.
Delaware looks like the favorite in the CAA right now.
Delaware, a quarterfinalist last year. They had the biggest upset of round 1, knocking off Georgetown. Meanwhile, Johns Hopkins leads Syracuse by... I'll be there with Paul Carcaterra in person next week. Quint, you were, I think, supposed to join us, but wrestling, right, next week?
Heading to Tulsa on Tuesday. Wrestling's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, each night on ESPN. I had to take like 3 years of credits my senior year to graduate on time. That guy's got out of there in like 2.5 years. I don't know, you know.
And you always sat next to the smartest guy, right?
Girl.
That's a shot on goal by Glass.